So today we will learn about distributed cache system. To understand the distributed cache system, firstly we need to understand what is cache. So cache is a memory into our system which is used to store the frequently accessed data. Means those data which are accessed again and again or very simultaneously. So why we used to store the data into cache? We store the data into the cache memory because the user experience get faster. Means if the data is in the main memory and CP requires some data, so it takes time to take the data from RAM to CPU. But what and if the same data is accessed again and again, then it will take again the same more time as in the first time. So what we do, we store that frequently accessed data into our cache memory so that the time taken from the CPU to the memory to the RAM is get decreased and we can access our data very easily. So this is caching. So why we use, if we have caching, then why we use distributed caching? Let's suppose we have a system that multiple users are accessing that, and we have only one cache memory. So if multiple users demand the data at the same time for that cache memory, then it lags. Means they again need to wait for the data. So what we do to resolve this problem, we use a technique of distributed caching. What we done in the distributed caching is we distribute our cache into multiple caches to multiple servers. For an example, let's suppose this is our cache memory and we distributed it into multiple small caches, and these caches are used to store the cache data which is stored into this. And one more thing, each cache memory, each distributed cache has the same data, because if why we do the same data, because if some cache may got failed during the execution, so we can say that we have the data, that means we don't lose our data. And one more thing, each distributed cache are connected to each other so that the data loss is prevented. This is used in distributed caching system. So why we use the distributed caching system? To fastly access the data, to prevent the data loss, and these are such reasons. And so thank you. This is distributed caching.